Okay, we're coming towards the end of dry January. There's just a few days left, and I picked up this beer here from Lidl in Ireland. It's a bit dubious, but we'll have a look at it. I'll tell you what I think about the labelling in a minute. This is quite interesting. Okay, non-alcoholic IPA up next. Hey, welcome back to Views and Brews. I am Brendan, and this is an interesting one. I picked this up in Lidl the other day. It was cheap as chips. We're in and around the euro mark, maybe €1.20 or something like that. But I've bypassed this beer on several occasions, not just because it's non-alcoholic, but the labelling on it is very, very curious. It has a very high fill in the bottle. But it just says on the front, IPA, non-alcoholic India Pale Ale, 0.5% volume, and it doesn't say anything else on the front of the bottle. It's really bizarre. It's kind of like, we're doing our best not to brand this bottle at all. Now, on the back, it tells you just a little bit more. It is powered by Perlenbacher. Perlenbacher have really nice alcoholic beers, which I actually quite like in fairness, and they're very good value in Lidl. But this one, they've got a range of powered by Perlenbacher beers, which are just contract subsidiary or contract brewed specifically to be sold in supermarkets and things like that. 23 calories per 100 mils. It's a 330 ml bottle. It does have 4.9 grams, I think I'm reading. It's quite hard, again, to see that. I think it says 4.9 grams of carbohydrates. So it's a 5, 10, 15. It's about 13, 14 grams of carbohydrates. If you're on a low-carb diet, there's probably better options out there. But that is going to bulk out the mouthfeel of this beer. And there are 3.6 grams of sugar as well per 100 millilitres. So you do the maths. 3.6 per 100 mils. Anyway, look, it's gonna be a little bit sweet, but it is an IPA, so I expect that in some measure. Have a quick look at the bottle just to see what I was saying. There's really nothing written on it. So the only thing I really like about this beer is the bottle cap. The bottle cap is absolutely fabulous. So that's going to make it into the collection. I'm going to be very careful opening this one up now. Okay, so decent bit of a hiss and a bit of carbonation smoke coming off the top of it there. It has a nice IPA looking colour to it, I will say that. Have a look at that. Well, that's just really not the clearest of, not the cleanest of glasses, because a lot of bubbles hanging onto the side of it. I probably should have given it a wipe out. But it does have a reasonable head of foam on top. It's a little bit unstable is what I would say. The lacing is broken, and yeah, it looks like this is the kind of beer where the head is it's lacking a little bit of stability, but it's still sticking around, and very nice medium carbonation going on there. It's crystal clear now, settled out, and it does have this really nice antique gold, sort of darker golden color to it. Perfectly crystal clear. Smells like I'm going to get a lot of bitterness out of this, maybe from one of the hops in there that I can take the aroma from. It feels like there's a decent amount of bitterness hops going on. Doesn't smell like there's anything particularly wrong with the beer. Now bring it closer to the nose, and I'm getting the caramel contribution, which, if you just hold it slightly farther away from the nose, and you get that first whiff, you can tell if there's any kind of buttery diacetyl notes to it. Maybe it's a bit interesting. But it does have a very nice caramel sort of tinge to it. I'm going to give it a go. Anyway, cheers, sláinte, and let's have a little look at this one. Well, what I will say about this beer is it's interesting in that it has nice amounts of bitterness, nice amounts of malt contribution. It does have a little bit of that porridgey, bready, warty stuff going on, but nowhere near the levels I've seen in some of the older style German beers. And this is a German-made beer. It's kind of a little bit, I don't know if that's a little bit metallic on the nose. It's very interesting. There is a decent head on it, I will give it that, and it has got really nice clarity to it. The flavour isn't too bad. Like, it's got that IPA, characteristic IPA quality to it. It has malt body that stands up to the citrus. Is it citrusy or is it kind of resiny? It's actually not that bad at all, I have to say. That's not that bad. That's one of the cheaper ones that I bought as well. Now, yeah, I can tell there's a little bit of alcohol missing in it. Yeah, I can tell there's a little bit of that porridgey warty, but only in a little way. Only, you know, the contribution of that is not so distracting that I don't want to drink it, you know, and that's what I found in a few of the other ones out there. I'm going to give it a few more sips and let's see what it builds on the flavour. I could actually drink this. I think I'm going to be ending up giving this one a thumbs up because that's not too bad at all. It does what an IPA should do. It has a nice bit of bitterness going through it, but maybe a bit piney, a bit subdued, light character, but just bitterness. Not any specific aroma bitterness, but maybe a bit herbal, maybe a little bit young pine, maybe a little bit citrus, but nothing over the top. It's a cheap beer. You're not going to get a whole bunch of hop character going on in there. I mean, a lot of the other ones that I've had that are good are in the €2.50 range. This is kind of like in the €1.20 range. So it's punching pretty much above its weight for the amount it cost. There's a nice body to the beer. This is growing on me. This is a pleasant surprise at the end because I actually thought that I wasn't going to enjoy this beer based on the way it was really sort of careless labeling and very, very minimalist on, you know, interest. You know, we buy with our eyes. We buy these beers with our eyes, and I don't think that one really took my apart from the bottle cap. I could sit there and drink that. Yeah, there is a bit of citrus to it. They would probably argue there's a bit of tropical or a bit of fruit character to the hops, but it's kind of muted in aromas, and it's more about the taste of bitterness that you get. You know, the aroma is what I can smell, not much. The taste is what I can sense on the tongue and around the mouth. That's the bitterness. And the caramel and the malt contribution there is nice, and it melds with that bitterness, and it just does an okay job of being a pretty above average or just average, slightly above India Pale Ale, but very cheap. And if I was looking to have something, I definitely think about this one in the future. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's going to be my view on this brew. From Lidl, cheap as chips, tastes like an IPA. It actually doesn't taste too bad, and it's grown on me the more I drink it. That's my view on this brew. Cheers, sláinte, and it's on to the next one. Bye. And then